Hey, welcome back everybody to Port St. Lucie Police Department. Know your PO, police officer. We got a local celebrity that we're riding with today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Name's Garcia. I've been with the Port St. Lucie Police Department approximately 19 years.
19 years. Nice, nice.
All right, well, my first dream was to play professional baseball. Grew up playing ball, was drafted out of high school by the New York Mets back in 1985. Played with them for 3 years. Was traded over to the New York Yankees, which is my favorite team. Played with them for 4 years and then finished my career with the Cleveland Indians in 1992.
Which is my favorite team.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, you're from Cleveland.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, due to injuries with my back and my arm, mainly with my arm, and I was a pitcher, so, you know, without the arm, it's kind of difficult. So at that point, I knew I needed to, you know, to choose another career, and law enforcement had always been something that I enjoyed. So I pursued it, and thank God, here I am.
So you were, when you wanted to become a police officer, where were you at? Were you up in New York still, or Cleveland, or where were?
Well, we had relocated from New York in 1997, and I was already here in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 years later, I was fortunately, you know, hired by the department.
So in 1997, what were you doing in Port St. Lucie?
I was working with the St. Lucie County Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
Yeah, as one of the site coordinators in Fort Pierce.
Cool. And so once you started focusing on just being, you know, getting into your career, being a police officer, was it a tough transition to go from, you know, the starstruck fame that you had to just out here trying to help out the citizens? Or
no, actually, you know, it was a smooth transition, being that I would watch cops growing up, you know, so it was something that I really was interested in, and like I said, once I went into the academy, sports, you know, you deal with people, but you deal with people in a different capacity, and law enforcement, you're out there serving the community, so it was an easy transition.
Nice. Now, do you have any other officers in your family? I think I remember your cousin used to work here.
Yeah,
right?
I had a cousin who worked with us for 5 years, and I've had some other relatives, mainly in Puerto Rico, that were involved in law enforcement as well.
Nice. So let me ask you this: what have you done since you've been in Port St. Lucie as a police officer? What different jobs have you held as a police officer?
Well, currently I'm assigned to road patrol in District 3. I've held previous positions with the school resource officer. Did that for several years. I've also been a member of the Special Investigations Division as a gang investigator, and now back on the road. So a couple of things.
So with the Special Investigations Unit, you were also what, narcotics detective, and
also helped out with drug investigations. Actually, my first case was a major grow house in Port St. Lucie. So yeah, I did a little of both.
Wow. So it's been pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's something where, you know, it's I've done a little of this, a little of that, so it's always changing, which is good, and one part that gained my interest in law enforcement is it's never the same thing twice. You know, it changes daily, and that's something that I enjoy.
Now, I mean, a lot of the people out there don't, you know you as much as like maybe I would or whatever, but I know that you're a strong family guy. You have a good family unit that you have. Do you get a lot of support from your family?
Oh, absolutely. That's well, I'm a Christian, and God is definitely number one in my life, and then the family, the family component. I don't do anything without you know, consulting with my wife and my children, and that was one thing when I went into Special Investigations Division. You know, they sometimes have the, you know, weird hours, and that's something that I, you know, spoke with my family about, and they were okay with it. So it's definitely a big part of my life, family, and I have 3 wonderful children. So yeah, it's a big part of it.
Yeah. They worry about you a lot, or do they express that, or they just know that, you know, you do what you can do and you be safe when you're at work?
They tell me all the time to be safe, and you know, they know it's, once you put this uniform on, you know, anything can happen. But yeah, they know it could come with some weird things, and you know, sometimes they ask me, you know, how was my day, and I share some things with them, and some I keep to myself, because I don't want them to get too worried about things and start to worry about, you know, is something going to happen today, or things of that nature. So I try to limit what I tell them with.
I hear you. So, well, this has been awesome, man. We've been hanging out for a little bit, just shooting it, and
yeah,
but
absolutely.
I appreciate you letting me ride along and letting everybody in Port St. Lucie and on Facebook get to know who Vic Garcia is, and everybody else out there. Thank you very much for watching. See you the next time on Know Your Police Officer, Port St. Lucie Police Department.